Hi there. My name is Gary Abbott. I am a solutions architect here at D2Well, and I'm proposing this short little video for Micro Learning Monday, which offers a series of tips and tricks to support your professional and career development. Specifically, I'm going to tap into some years of doing sales presentations and product demonstrations, panel moderating, public speaking, improv, theater, performance, tour guide, even lots of time spent in front of audiences. And I've learned a few tips and tricks along the way that I'd love to share with you and that I've learned from other experts and colleagues and friends. And so what we're going to do is share a few of these ideas here, and you'll notice I'm going to share my screen, so I've kind of bumped up into the corner here. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the ways in which we can improve your presentations, including, as you see here, some visualizations that can actually support your presentation and not hurt it. And so how can we use visuals effectively to guide our audience attention and not distract? And then we're going to talk a little bit about using our whole body when we present. And so a lot of what we deliver tends to be nonverbal cues. And so what are some of the ways in which we can support that? And then ultimately, I want to really talk about how we apply audience empathy. The ability for us to empathize with what our audience's expectations are, what their goals are, can go a long way in helping you to deliver a really impactful presentation. So first, as you see, big into PowerPoint. PowerPoint gets a bad rap because we've all been victimized to really bad PowerPoints. And so really what I wanted to focus in on with this is that there's an opportunity for us, especially when we're in a virtual setting like this, but even in person, to have visuals that help guide our audience's attention. And so at the beginning here, I had that agenda slide and I went through it with an animation. And so it was allowing me to focus on just the point I was making as I was making it and not cluttering the screen or overwhelming the audience with too much to go on. And so now that we've moved into this particular point around visuals, that's the only thing I have here on the slide. And it can really help us to make sure that we're supporting what we're delivering verbally with visual cues as well, but not to do so in a way that takes away from either of them. Similarly, it gives us an opportunity to selfishly keep ourselves composed. So I'm a huge proponent of presenting extemporaneously. That's a big fancy word that basically means that you're prepared but not scripted. So I don't have a full set of notes that I'm using here. I'm instead using things like this, these little agenda slides and these point-based slides to help remind me where I'm going and what I want to touch on as part of this point of the presentation. It also gives you a nice way to break up your presentation. And so if you're someone who's looking for a quick gulp of air or even a gulp of water to help preserve your voice, it's a great opportunity to do so, which is a nice segue into that a lot of our message is nonverbal. And so how can we use things like our body language and our voice to strengthen and support our position as the presenter? And so as humans, we've got so much sensory information coming into us that we're trying to make a lot of subconscious and unconscious decisions on the fly. And so things like interpreting the audio, the presentation of, is it a confident delivery or is it rushed with a closed off language? Is it a little uncertain? That can make a huge impact on our ability to say, yeah, this person seems like an expert. They seem genuine, they seem authentic, they seem open and supportive. And so all these types of things can have a huge impact on how the audience is interpreting the message that we're delivering. And really it's that audience empathy that is going to have a huge impact on the presentation. People are coming to your presentation for a reason. It might be forced on them, but that is a reason, and that's an important thing to keep in mind. Or it might be something that they've paid for if it's an event, or something that's a core part of their job and their portfolio for work. So it's a really important thing that goes well for them. And so we want to make sure that we take a little time in our preparation to get a sense of who might be in the room and why they might be there, because then it's going to allow us to change our messaging and really focus in on the things that they want to hear. It might be using their names, it might be using their organization's names, or even their values that they've summarized. Little things that can show you and deliver to them that, yes, I understand you, I live in your world, I understand it, and I want to deliver value as part of this presentation. And so as a quick suggested activity for you after this video, as a way to maybe try and practice that empathy a little bit, I'm going to use the example of age and how age can deliver and shape your message depending on the audience's age. And so how are you going to explain maybe what you do for work to your 5-year-old child or to a 5-year-old child versus if you're someone in a more technical role? How might you explain it to a friend of yours who's not technical? How might that might change the words that you use or the way in which you explain things? All the way to perhaps you want to explain your value as an employee to a manager or to someone who's hiring, or maybe just your parents and explaining that. And so you'll quickly, hopefully realize if you do try this activity out, how something like age or role or experience can really shape how the audience is going to interpret your presentation and how you might want to shape your presentation to really deliver value and meet them where they are. So they walk away saying, yeah, that made sense. That was a really valuable use of my time. And so far in this video, we talked about how visuals can really help augment and focus our audience's attention. I think every one of us has been in a presentation where someone pulls out their phone and takes a picture of the slides, even when you say up front, we're going to send these to you after, or we're going to record the session. And so put together those sharp looking presentation slides and visuals that are going to support your message, going to deliver your expertise. We also talked about how a lot of that message is nonverbal. So even if you are someone who uses a lot of hand gestures, put them in an open context, be authentic, and then take those pauses, take those drinks of water, put that smile on, deliver what I like to call use your grandmother's voice. And so if your grandmother were to call you on the phone, how would you talk to them? You often slow down, you smile, you speak clearly. All those things are similar values to a confident, authentic presentation style that an audience is going to love. And then, of course, give that audience what they want. So get into their world a little bit. Show that you have that buy-in, that understanding. Be like them. People buy from people. And so if we can show that trust, establish that trust, chances are our presentation is going to go to a better level. So 3 ideas. Now I'm going to give you a 4th idea because it supports the importance of 3 ideas, and that is the rule of 3 really adds structure and clarity. And so you'll notice that I used 3 things as part of this presentation. Psychology has shown that our memory likes to chunk things into 3, and it makes it a much more effective way to deliver a message. You'll also notice that I kind of structured things into a sandwich here. We started at the beginning with what I was going to show, kind of establish that purpose for the meeting and the time. And then I actually went through and delivered each thing. And then at the end, I summarized it. And so that rule of 3, beginning, intro, delivery, and value, close. So all different ways in which you can help use psychology to support delivering a more authentic and successful presentation. And so that's it. I'm really grateful for you taking some time to watch this and would love to hear some of the ideas that you have. I'm always gaining some great new tips and tricks myself as I continue to develop my abilities as a presenter, and I'd love to hear some from you as well. So all the best, good luck, and as they say in theater, break a leg. Thank you.